Hey everyone, welcome to After the Buzzer. This is the video series associated with our podcast Game Tape Rewind, where we talk about a topic related to the main episode and dive in a little bit deeper, something that we thought was related enough to the episode but deserved a little bit more love on its own. In this episode of Game Tape Rewind, we talked about the dunk contests over the last 20 years or so, some of our favorite dunks, some of our favorite dunk contests, and what we think makes a dunk contest exciting. In this episode of After the Buzzer, what we'd like to do is each share an idea that we think would help make future dunk contests more exciting. So, Adam Silver, if you're watching, hit me up. My DMs are open. Eric, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so we've considered a few options here. We'd like to think we're creative guys, and I will be discussing, as I do nightly with Chris Paul, better ways to make the NBA better. Um, my idea for the dunk contest, particularly because environment, I think, is really key. I think we agree that's probably the number one importance is the crowd factor and things of that nature, is to have the dunk contest outside at a legendary park or important park in the area of the hometown or the city that the All Star Weekend is being hosted in. I think that the logistics, that's for the professionals to figure out. But at the
Sure.
same time, similar to a concert venue or a festival of anything like that, um, there's just something interesting about you see highlights from Rucker or Venice Beach and things like that. Imagine that environment with a lot of people on a might be chilly depending on the arena or where you're at, I guess, in terms of the country at that time, but I just would really like to see something like that. I can't imagine it going bad or being worse for the NBA. If anything, I think there's history there. You're not worried about probably what kind of rim. You're not really shooting on it. And I don't know. I just think that that gives a historical backdrop because, a lot of these players grew up playing at, their local parks or maybe even historic parks if they're from, a basketball town like Baltimore, Washington, Philly, Los Angeles, things like that. So my idea is if you're listening out there, Chris Paul or Adam Silver, is put this thing outside. If the climate allows for it, you already have the stadium rented out. It's not like you're hurting for a place if things go wrong. You have a very easy rain, collateral situation. So, um, yeah, that's for me. Put the thing outside, let people come in droves, have music, and just kind of host it more of like a bit of a block party on that night.
I think that sounds like a lot of fun. NBA block party. It'd definitely be interesting to incorporate some of the more local vibes and it kind of bring basketball back to its roots a little bit,
Yeah.
especially if you're in a major city where a lot of NBA players are from. That's a good one. I think that's something that would definitely keep things from getting stale, like they sometimes do, and that's why they keep changing the scoring formats and that kind of thing. But that to me feels like it might have a little bit more staying power. Mine is a little bit more out there, just because it kind of subverts the whole NBA concept. But I think that there should be at least one amateur dunker in every dunk contest. Um, if you are familiar with the argument, just in terms of the Olympics, where just have one guy. I wish I knew who came up with this idea, but just have one average guy, a good athlete, but nowhere near the caliber of Olympians. Just stick them out there and see how they do in the events, just to give everyone an idea of how much better these guys are that are competing than everyone else. I think there are some amateur dunkers that could wow some people. One guy who stands out, his name is Jordan Kilgannon. Um, Highly encourage you to look up his dunks. There's a video of him at an NBA sponsored event in Rio, and he sort of like slow plays how good he is. And Gary Payton, he's talking to Gary Payton, or Gary Payton picks him out of the crowd and is like, "Nah, there's no way you can dunk." And then he just puts on an absolute show because he's one of the best dunkers, period, I think, in the world. So if you get somebody like him in the contest, I think it would make things a lot more entertaining. Um, Keep the average fan interested just to see some new faces. But again, it might be more logistically challenging, or at the very least, it wouldn't be really an NBA dunk contest anymore. It would just be a dunk
or
contest.
or they might be worried that he comes in and shows everybody up. That might be
Mm,
that has a real high ceiling, but it could be the death of the dunk contest as we know it. So
that's true. So we'll see. Well, maybe we'll pitch your idea first and see how that one goes. Well, anyway, let us know what you think you would change to the dunk contest to make it more exciting for the fans, for the participants, and for everyone. Otherwise, be sure to check out our episode of Game Tape Rewind. We think you'll enjoy it. We hope you enjoy this year's dunk contest, and we will talk to you next time.